He bets 20.
On the turn, right?
Yeah. You're men raising? This is a patriotic moment.
Nothing fancy, back at TCH for another 1-2 session.
Yep, we are live streaming on TikTok, so get ready for some cool second angles on these hands.
Hopefully we'll get into some juicy pots. Just a typical Wednesday today. Let's run it up and go.
Let's go. So we did a TikTok live stream and this one player named Chase showed up to the game and started playing every hand blind about 30 minutes in. I guess we weren't playing enough hands and he started playing all the hands without looking at his cards. JLo calls him Nate the entire video. He is completely wrong about that, so switch that up. All these hands are versus a blind player. I know this is absurd. Stay tuned for crazy hands.
Wait,
oh yeah, almost forgot. He'll be playing on live stream with us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. TCH live. Check in to watch more action there. Enjoy.
Have a look. They have a look. Got it on TikTok.
All of that said, our man is blind for $10 to our right. We look down at ace queen offsuit under the gun +1. I want to isolate him. I raise it up to $40 and the big blind gets sticky. He makes the call. That is not going to be enough action for our blind player as he goes all in on his straddle. His $10 straddle becomes $300 as he rips it all in without looking at his two cards. I don't want to gamble for a lot of money here, but ace queen versus a man who hasn't looked at his cards yet, that's a pretty good range to have. I go all in. The big blind now goes into the tank. He's an action player. He wants to get in on this pot, but nope, he folds. We're going heads up to the run out. Thank you, JLo, for the camera view. Flop comes queen, king, jack.
I could have a king.
You could have a king. Just put a 10 out there.
I could have a 10. 20 wants to see first.
Now it's time to see what he has. He doesn't know himself. The first card, no 10 or no king. First card's a 7. The second card is a 7. So he had pocket pair to start the hand. It was a coin flip. Nice to win this one. Start off the session up $300.
Welcome back. Let's get right into the action. Very first hand for us, we got pocket 8s of snowmen on the button. We see one limp in early position and our good buddy Nate opens it up to $12. You will hear more from him later in the session. Folds around to me. I could 3-bet here but decided just to flat and the limper calls as well. We're off to flop 3 ways. Comes king 8 deuce. Checks over to Nate and he bets $10. Already I can tell this is an aggressive guy. He could easily be bluffing here. I want to keep those hands in, so I decide just to make the call. The limper gets out of the way. We're off to a turn. It comes the 6 of clubs. Nothing really changes. He checks to me this time. I decide definitely need to start charging any draw or any low pairs he might have. I bet $25 and he quickly makes a call. The river is the 3 of spades. The flush draw comes in, but when he checks me, I think I can still bet for value here. I don't want to make it too big and price him out. I bet $45.
This might be a little maybe just call. I call.
Well, that's never a good sign when you hear someone say it's going to be a nitty call. He makes a call and flips over 7-5 of spades. He turned an open ender along with his flush draw and got there on the river. Luckily, we lost the minimum because if he raised here, I might have still found a call.
First hand for me, we got pocket 4s in middle position. Jack under the gun raises it up to $7. +1 calls, I call. We end up 5 ways to this flop, which comes 7, 9, 4, rainbow, Binkarooski. Jack checks, +1 leads out for 15. I elect on just a call, and the guy next to me bumps it up to $55. Folds all the way back to me, and I decide to just make the call again. The turn is a rainbow ace. I check it over to him, and he checks it back. So when the river's an 8, I think it's time to go for some value of my own. I make it $100, and he folds pretty quickly, saying he had pocket 5s, which if that is the truth, then he basically told me what he had on the flop when he raised to $55 with pocket 5s. So I guess pay attention to people's bet sizes. That's a pretty interesting tell right there.
Hoping to battle back from the last hand with 8s, we top up back to $300. We see Rosie open under the gun to $10. He gets a call on the hijack, the cutoff, and the button. I'm in the small blind. I look down at pocket 10s. I consider just flat calling here, but then I remember Rosie's the loosest player at the table, opening up the widest from under the gun position, so I think this is a great spot to 3-bet here. I raise it up to $60. It folds around to the cutoff, who makes the flat call for $50 more, and then the button does something really weird. After just flatting that $10 bet from Rosie, when it gets back onto him, he goes all in here for $150. Definitely did not expect that. He kind of shrugged when he put it in, so I don't think he's too strong. For those those reasons, I think my hand's too good to fold, but I think the cutoff is going to call as well if I call. So I go all in for my total $300. The cutoff quickly gets out of the way, and the button flips over a hand I was very happy to see, 3-5 of clubs. We've got him absolutely dominated. He has to run it multiple, and I say, of course, we can run it twice. We're off to 2 boards. The first board comes 8 queen ace. We're sitting good on that one. Turns an 8, and the river is an ace. Double pairs the board, but we've got a pair higher than 8s. We're going to take that pot. The second board is 7 queen king. Safe board. Turns a 3, so now he's drawing to either trips or 2 pair, but the river is a 7. We remain with the best hand on both boards, scooping in this massive pot, doubling up. Next hand, I am in the hijack. There's 1 limp to me. I open it up here to $11 with queen 10 offsuit. Folds around to our good buddy Nate again in the big blind. He makes a call and the limper comes along as well. We're off to flop 3 ways in position. Comes 7, 10, 5. Checks over to the limper and he donks out here for $20. Pretty odd route by this guy. However, what I've learned so far is that donk bets don't really symbolize a whole bunch of strength. I've got top pair, second highest kicker. I'm likely good on this board. He could also be doing this with hands like queen 10 and jack 10, as well as draws. I don't want to let him draw cheaply, so I raise here to $60. Nate gets out of the way and he makes the call for $40 more. The turn is the deuce of spades. He checks me and lets me know that he is certainly not drawing here.
Certainly not.
All the more reason I think he is definitely drawing. However, I do decide to pot control and check back. Hopefully on a dud river, he will stab at it and bluff. The river is one of those cards that is the 6 of spades, doesn't change a whole lot, and he snap bets $115. This is exactly what I was looking for. I think it over again. No draws really got there, and I still got a very strong hand. I make the call.
Good call. Wow.
He shows 6-4 offsuit. He had the open ender on the flop, and look at that, he was drawing. Nice hand to this guy, and we're on to the next one.
Do not adjust your television screens. This is not Jack. This is not Andrew Nemi. This is me, Rosie, in a PLO flip bomb pot thing. All 8 of us put in $15, and we're just running out a board of PLO. Honestly, this is probably the best chance I'll ever have to win a PLO hand. Let's see what happens. We got 7 ace king with 2 spades, 5 of spades on the turn, 4 of spades on the river. I have no idea what I have. Let's pick up a card. It's the 9 of spades. Let's pick up another one. It's the 10 of spades. Then we see the jack of clubs and then the jack of spades. All the spades are basically accounted for. We are pretty much going to win this if we show, and we're good, and we are. We scoop the PLO flip, and maybe this should become my new form of gambling.
We see an early position limp from Nate. Folds around to the cutoff. He opens it up to $10. I look down at ace 10 offsuit. I decide to just make the call here in position. Folds back around to Nate. He calls. We're off to flop 3 ways, and it comes 10 queen 5 all diamonds. We've got the ace of diamonds as well as mid pair. The cutoff now leads out for $30. I've got some showdown value here. No need to raise it up. I make the call for $30. Nate folds. We're off to turn heads up. 9 of hearts is what it has in store for us. He now jams it all in. His remaining $80. He was short stacked to start the hand. I think about it for a while. I think my 10 can be live. I think if I hit an ace, that might be good. I also know if I hit a diamond, I'm good. He can have some bluffs in his range here, like ace king, ace jack with the jack of diamonds, or king 10 with the king of diamonds. For those reasons, I don't think I can fold given this price. I make the call for $80. We're off to river. I asked to run it twice. He says no. This one I know he has a good hand. The river is the 6 of clubs. I know I'm no good. He flips over king jack offsuit for the turned straight. Unfortunate turn card for us, and he picks up this pot his way. Hey, you got to give some chips back if you want some action.
In this hand, there is a blind bet to 10 to my right, which he refers to as a sleeper bet. I 3-bet that to $30, trying to isolate this guy who's going to call with anything. The small blind cold calls, and the blind player calls without seeing his cards, going to a flop, which comes queen 3, 9, 2 clubs. We flop a set. Checks to me, I bet $20 for value, and they both make the call. The turn is the 3 of diamonds. They both have seen their cards now. Small blind checks, cutoff checks, and now here is this position where I should be betting, trying to charge against queens and flush draws. I actually just check, although I think a bet is better. The river comes the 7 of diamonds. The backdoor flush gets there. Checks to me once again. I try to go for a sizing to get called by a flush, a queen, a trips. $100 it is, and they both fold. Small blind tells me that he folded a club draw, so betting the turn would have got us some more value. Unfortunate that we missed that spot to get some more value, but we take down this hand.
Here's a real fun one. Nate straddled for $5, folds around to middle position. He makes the limp. I am in the hijack, and I have queen jack offsuit. I think this is good enough for an open. I raise it up to $25. Nate makes a call, and the limper makes a call. We're off to a flop 3 ways in position. Comes 10-4 jack. We got top pair with a decent kicker. I'm liking where I'm at. It checks to me, and I see bet here for 1/3 pot. $25. Nate makes the call and the limper folds. We're off to a turn. Heads up becomes another jack. We bink trips, and better yet, he leads out here for $60. Not exactly sure what he would be leading out here with, but I'm hoping it contains some bluffs. I want to keep those in, and I make the call for $60. The river is a dud, doesn't change anything, and he bets out $100 here. I consider raising here in case he has a weaker jack, but I think he's pretty much just doing this with hands that might be a boat or complete air. I want to see what he has here, and I don't really think I can get a whole bunch of value if he's got a bad hand. I just make the call here, a bit nitty, especially against an action player. I flip over queen jack right when I make the call, and he flips over what he would later tell us is his favorite hand of all time, 6-4 offsuit, and we scoop in a nice pot our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got pocket aces, and there's been a blind bet to $69. You heard that correctly. It gets to me, and I decide on just a call. This player had the tendency to just donk out and be a little bit crazy, so I definitely want to play a little bit weaker here, even though I've got a monster. We head to a flop, which is 6-8-9 with 2 clubs, and he still has not looked at his cards yet, and that's a very wet board. I'm going to bet here to charge whatever he could possibly have. So I do bet here, and I make it 100. He checks his cards, has 4 high, is what he announces, and makes the fold. So more money than we'd typically get in this spot. An extra $69 of profit is what I'd say. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be experiencing the phenomenon of deja vu because we are in the small blind again. We have pocket aces again, and there has been a blind bet again. We've seen a limp and a blind bet to $20. This gentleman has not looked at his cards. Gets to me in the small blind. 20 is not a number where we're just going to want to call here like we did last time. We are going to bump it up. I make it $100. Folds to him, and he proposes a deal. Either A, he will look at his cards, and if he doesn't like them, he'll fold. Or B, he will call the 100 blind, but we have to check it all the way down. Let me know what you guys would do in this situation. Obviously, I want to make a bunch of money on this hand, so I want to play post flop, get stacks in. But odds are he's not going to have a good hand, right? That's poker. So I end up deciding to take the $100 versus $100, run it all the way out, and that's what happens. We head to a run out. He ends up having Jack 9 offsuit. Jack 9 offsuit, not enough to get the job done on this board, and we scoop a $200 pot where we, again, otherwise probably wouldn't have.
Very interesting spot here as we have a very similar situation to at the beginning of the video. I'm under the gun +1. The man to our right blind bets $33. I look down at ace jack offsuit, slightly worse than the ace queen that we had previously and doubled up on. If this was ace 10 offsuit, I probably would find a fold, but I want to isolate this player. Just as before, I go for a min raise to $66. I'm early position, really hoping to get it through.
Hello ladies, definitely going to be 4-betting the hell out of Frankie right here. I make it 160 to go. It folds around back to Nate. Here's what he says.
I'm out of time. This might be my last hand. Yeah, this is my last hand.
Uh-oh.
You got a pair?
Ace of diamonds, jack of clubs.
Run it once.
Alright, once.
You got a card over
Suited
queen.
connectors. Yo!
I got queens.
Yeah, suited connectors.
Alright, here we go, off to a flop, only running it once. It comes 10-3-4. He tells me that he's got a gut shot. The turn is an ace. He tells me that he has a double gut shot. Now what does he have? The river is the 5. I flip over queens. He tells me I am good, and we scoop in this massive pot to end the session. What a great night it was.
Yo, I made a comment to the boys when we sat down. We didn't have a story for today's vlog. We were a little nervous. We like to give you guys a story. And I said, hopefully one will arise at the table. And I think it's safe to say one did. I will start us off. Into the game for 375, out for 775.
Damn, into the game for 300 myself, out of the game for 709, I think. Yeah, 709. Pretty good profit after hourly. Not bad.
Ran pretty hot against the blind guy. Not physically blind. He was playing every hand blind, though. It was pretty crazy. In for 300, out for 1330. Pretty solid cash right there.
Wow, boys are heating up. Make sure to leave a like for that big cash. Subscribe to the channel.
Let's
for
get
more.
1330 likes.
Let's keep that hot run going.
1330 likes. Let's go.
Peace.
Peace.